This is a sculpture that I did. This is sandstone, and there's a spot in Alabama where I go to, a secret spot. It's actually an iron foundry, and what this is the remnants of the stone. Actually comes from the remnants of the iron making process. So like maybe some people may have seen that glowing fire when it hits the floor. When it cools off, it turns into stone, which they call cores. But when it cools off, it's essentially what we call sandstone, and it's very easy to work with. And I just really have enjoyed working with sandstone and just the spiritual nature of stone and the ancient feel that you get when you're carving some stone, and you really allowing the stone again to speak to you and tell you what it's requesting, instead of you as the artist allowing your ego or whatever to come in and to create what you think should be created. So this piece is called Duality, and it's a relatively heavy piece where I have one side with the awakened consciousness, which one in ancient Kemet may call Nahast, which refers to that enlightenment. And we have serpentine energy on the top of the head here, which represents the masculine and feminine energy and the duality of the hemispheres, which are in the brain. So you have left brain and right brain activity. And the other side is I guess you could say the side which represents ignorance or darkness, which is represented by the gentleman with the eyes closed. So, which in intense we have duality. So the concept of an awakened state of consciousness and a state of closed consciousness. Okay, so and these are just paintings that I've set forth for this section. Pieces that I'm working on. It's a series that I'm working on called The Bright Future, and there are a few concepts that I'm going to add to it that probably wouldn't be wise for me to disclose at this moment, just coming from the concept of artist creativity. But I guess you can kind of see where I am going with some of these pieces. But and this here is a Kemetic stool, which has the where I placed some tile on a wooden stool, and I decorated the tile with the meta nature, and it tells a story. So spiritual utterances, ancient writings from ancient Kemet, and this is something that's inspired from within, from the ancient spirit. When you do things from ancient, like I would say Kemetic writings, it's more of like a scribe, a very spiritual undertaking, to where you're doing something that's required of you from a spiritual level, and you totally take yourself and your ego away from it and just allow yourself to be used. And this is another one of the projects that I've been working on. I always have something going on, but tile boxes that we have. Now the box was not crafted by myself, but came here with some tile. I used my adhesive and grout. Just came up with a pattern, so it's something that I'm kind of feeling and allowing the energies and the ancestral spirits to work with me, and so it'll definitely be something more that I see we could be continuing to work on. These are other sculptures that we have here, and I mean, I know you all were there when I was first started to work on these, but again, stone sculpture is totally spiritual, and you allow the stone to speak to you, and just working the grind that you get from utilizing all your muscles and bringing forth that is very rewarding, to say the least. And this is another one. I guess you could call her the fire-breathing smoke goddess. She has her eyes closed in meditation, and her mouth is open, and she's emitting life force. And you see that we have a candle in there, and we put incense in the back, and it just comes up in there. And it's another one of those things, the shape of the stone, the shape of the core called for that particular face. So, and another thing that we've worked on recently is wooden staffs. So this is one of the first staffs that I worked on, and this wood comes from a particular place where you can just purchase these 2x4s, and I just carved them down. And this is wood burn and stain, and I just came up with some different patterns, a leaf, a floral pattern, and this sort of Moroccan Moorish sort of pattern here with a gate, wood burns, and used a little gold and stain. But I just find it really interesting to carve and to shape things. Now this particular staff came from, it was actually growing through the fence out front, and you see this is a solid piece of wood, and this is the Kemetic staff, or the first Kemetic staff that I worked on, and it's the staff of Heru, and I have the mystery school eyes, and I have some Meta Nature script here on both sides coming here with the Egyptian motif, with the scales and the claws of Heru at the bottom. These are, again, just like stone, things that actually speak to you and tell you what it requires to be crafted and designed. And one of the latest ones that I did, we're creating these staffs for goddesses, staffs that the goddesses can walk forth in. I found this to be a very interesting piece of wood because it was growing and there was kudzu wrapped around the vine. So which the kudzu obviously had a huge factor in creating this magnificent shape, and which allowed me to put the serpentine energy in here with inlay, with the inlay for the eyes. We fashioned this ankh out of clay, and after we put it in the kiln and fired it, it was decorated, and we inlaid the ankh within the wood, and we have a crystal at the top for the power of, well, we will understand the power of crystals and understanding the magnificent force that and the energies that exist within the crystals. One that knows how to harness the power of this could be a very this could be a very powerful staff, you know. And just like staffs are very ancient from Kemet, from Africa, all various cultures, you know, throughout the Bible you find some of the great biblical patriarchs, and throughout ancient Kemet, Ptah, you know, he has his Ankawas Djed staff, but various of the staff is a very powerful tool, and it can be used in various manners. But just one brandishing or even having a staff, you know, it's a very powerful tool. I really enjoyed creating this goddess statue because, I mean, she was speaking to me the entire time. She's quite, I think, just in building it up, it's a very heavy stone, a pretty heavy stone, but in just building it up, it brought me some satisfaction because of I never did any sculpture of the human form before, and the goddess, or the form of the female, is obviously always a wonderful work of art, and again, the shape of the core was almost requiring it. So I just enjoyed working with it and essentially closing my eyes and feeling like, you know, like you want to reach around here and feel. But it's really a very powerful thing in understanding the contours and the shapes of the human form. I found it to be very interesting and challenging as well. And it was, being that it was one of my first pieces doing the human form, I found it to be something that that I knew definitely I wanted to continue to do, which I have another one up front. But these are things that when the stone begins to speak to you and you get into a groove, you can work through the night and you have no qualms about not eating or not taking breaks or anything. So this goddess with the ankh necklace, the pregnant goddess bringing forth life. what the goddess does in this creation. Hotep.
Pose a question to teach a lesson like why are women we disrespected. We're supposed to be African kings sent from heaven. She's the blessing. But yet and still the media impersonate blacks as being heathens with no reason to be breathing. So pay attention to your favorite TV shows and the significance of the underlying meaning. But if RJ would have known this, maybe he would use his head opposed to his fist. Now he's on someone's imprisonment list. So much for BCF, standing for business comes first. But in prison, blacks are the means of business. So when I say BCF, I mean blacks come first. But do I have the right to question why in society blacks come last? But I'll have to question why my brother pants is below his ass. But yet and still, it's his pants he continues to grab. So these brothers out here profess to be living for the money, but yet and still they're dying by the gun. So if you want to be rich, you have to reinvent something that has already been done. So pull up your pants along with your head, because brothers like me rather be dignified opposed to dead. And quit telling your partners you're just cooling. And start building a foundation for your future children, because at the end, it's only yourself you're fooling. But you may be hearing the words that I speak, but you do not hear what I say. Today, you will listen. No, you don't hear what I say, but you will tomorrow, because today is my last day.
Beautiful sight right there. They gonna keep this one. They probably gonna keep it. Just do basketball there or something. Just do
Final Four and SEC championship.
Well, you know, the city still on.
And you gotta do football.
Well, you know, but if we get the new one though, he gonna do all this.
They're tearing that down.
Oh, they gonna tear it down?
Yeah. But no, it don't make no sense. He gonna own
2 stadiums.
Not really. No, this gonna be here. No, this the city now.
Oh, okay. I see what they say. He breaking away.
Yeah,
he's going complete independence.
And everybody
going independence in front of the breaking away from the city, have his own thing, like Jerry Jones.
Yeah,
that's it.
Everything we gonna have fights down here now. All type.
Right, he's opening up. It just can't be public related. Yeah, he put a zoo, Atlanta Zoo, in the stadium.
Some of the shit in the city now, man, for 2017. God bless. See it, man. It's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be already wide open. We're
gonna have Julio. He'll be about his 5th or 6th year.
He'll be in his prime.
Shit, man. Hey, man.
I still think Steve just might have about 4 or 5 of him.
I think we signed 3 years, you know.
Yeah. But then we can raise your ass up
man,
and we can grab somebody up.
Be so nasty now. Oh my God.
Yep.
The passing game gonna be stupid.
We get another tight end to Groom and Gonzalez place.
Hey, them NCAA women, man. What's going on with them, man?
How y'all doing today? Y'all got Louisville and Michigan. No, this is the People Champ Show. We're a live show on the set. Who you got, Michigan or Louisville?
Michigan.
Who you got?
Big Blue, the old
Michigan. I got Michigan all day. Coach Wallace.
Does that mean anything coming from 2 guys in spandex, though?
Yeah, I don't matter, because you're working out. That's evidently.
It's
a sports show. This is what we need.
Tim
Hardaway. Y'all know what that is?
Louisville, though.
Even more.
Roll Tide, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Falcons. We gonna get too carried away now. You know, you down here in Atlanta. You know, the Atlanta home of the A. You know.
Louisville and Michigan. Who you got? Louisville and Michigan. Who you got? All right, well, we in the A.
My brother had Louisville.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what it do.
Anybody with some sense,
You
no.
from Atlanta? You got the Falcons then? You got the Falcons then?
Dirty bird all day.
Julio Jones, baby.
That's right, baby.
That's my personal home.
That's right. Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide. Roll Tide, baby. That's what I do. We'll go here. We don't discriminate. Michigan or Louisville.
Don't care.
Don't care. Don't care.
Film us,
Michigan
man.
or Louisville. You might want.
Please don't speed and drive. A public announcement by Cuts for Life. Thanks and have a nice day.
Sam J.
Yeah.
Sam J.
Yeah. 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 Hey, I'm in my B-boy stand. I'm in my B-boy stance. I'm in my B-boy stance. Standing in my B-boy stance. I'm in my B-boy stance. Standing in my B-boy stance. I'm in my B-boy stance. Why me to get out? To get out. 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 Standing in my B-boy stance. I'm in my B-boy stance. Standing like a grown man. 5'7", but I'm feeling like I'm 6'4". Hey, you don't wanna do that, bro. Hey, I'm in my B-boy stand. Fresh go smile and it go chain. And I ain't playing with these motherfucking haters, man. Yeah, yeah, they call me D-Bizzle. CMC is my crew, though. Yeah, Keep Money Corporation. Fuck what them haters be saying. Yeah, I'ma get it how I live. I live like that every day. Nigga, this real. I'm standing in my B-boy stand. I'm in my B-boy stand. I'm in my B-boy stand. I'm in my B-boy stand. Why me to get out? To get out. 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 Stand in my B-boy stand. Yeah, I'm in my B-boy stand. I'm in my B-boy stand. I'm in my B-boy stand. Yeah. Why me to get out? To get out. 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 Stand in my B-boy stand. Yeah, I'm in my B-boy stand. Hood out to the motherfucking man. I cash out on the 7 of the gas. But guess what? Niggas still on blast. Yeah, I'ma take you out. Show you a little bit of romance. Yeah, a little hood nigga what? Still do something for the girls. Yeah, yeah. I'm in my B-boy stand. Yeah, I'm in my B-boy stand. I'm in my B-boy stand. Yeah, why me to get out? To get out. 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 Standing in my B-boy stand. I'm in my B-boy stand. Yeah, I'm in my B-boy stand. Yeah, I'm in my B-boy stand. Yeah, why me to get out? To get out. 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 Standing in my B-boy stand. Yeah. Hey, this your boy D-Bizzle. It ain't hard to get on the show. All you gotta do is send me a message on Facebook, right about on Facebook, or hit me on Twitter, D-Bizzle808, or send me an email, gutterfame12@yahoo.com. My number 404-839-4518, and that's how you can reach me. Pick me up.
Wow, they be like, wow, they be like, DJ, wow, they be like.
Sam J.
Yeah.
Sam J.
Yeah, 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 hey, I'm in my B-boy stand. I'm in my B-boy stand.
Parents, are you looking for a fun, energetic, and affordable DJ for your child? Well, you got her. DJ Rockabelle, the children's DJ, located right here in the metro Atlanta area. Specializing in cool and positive music, DJ Rockabelle does it all. And hey, she's not just a DJ, she's also a child advocate, promoting child rights, family values, self-esteem, and much, much more.
If you have any comments, anything that you want to talk about, any topics, hey, leave it down in the comment box. And you can also subscribe to The Real World Leader on YouTube. That's The Real World Leader. For booking, you can reach me at willis.bell5@gmail. You can also reach me on Facebook at Mario W. Bell. You can follow me on Twitter at Prototype. Hey, the name of the show is Cuts for Life. Well, we go over cuts, but we also are going to give you some life issues. So hey, mess with your boy. I'm here. Hey.